I'm back. Sorry, I'll be honest, I was hoping to be back sooner, but shit happens, you know, but I made it back. And by some fucking miracle, I even managed to get a script done. Jeez. Right. So, standard warning, I don't even have it written down because I have no idea where the fuck my folder is right now. But, standard warning, this stream is not suitable for anyone under the age of 18 or for anyone with a nervous disposition because there is some strong content. Now this is part 4 of a series of true life supernatural stories that I've been covering. If you want to catch up on any previous stories or any other stories that I've done throughout the year, hey kiddo, then jump over to my YouTube channel, just search Bucky Bird, and you'll find every episode I've ever done up on there. If you are watching this on YouTube, then hi YouTube, thank you very much for dropping it in. If you like what you see, please feel free to hit the subscribe button and ring that bell so that you always know when I post. I usually post on a Tuesday. I'm a few weeks behind because, well, I'll get into that in a minute. So, yep, I'm back. So, don't know if you missed me, but I sure as shit missed yours. Now, a few weeks later, I did promise a story would go live on the 11th, but shit happened and it never happened. So, like I said, I'm a couple of weeks behind. Apologies. But what a way to get into Spooktober. Nice little ghost story to start off the spooky season. Now, you might have noticed that my background is slightly different. FYI, it's not quite finished, so bear with me. And that wall looks very bare, but the TV doesn't come to tomorrow, so my apologies. But we have actually finally been able to move. Now, I must say, if you know where we are, congratulations, we trust you. But if you do know where we are, then please do not put it in the chat. Okay? But yeah, so we have moved, and it wasn't just a small move either. We actually moved out of Scotland. Yay. Nothing new for me, I have lived out of Scotland before, but it is a big thing for Ginger Minnie and for Bucky Jr. Now, it took us 6 months, and it wasn't an easy 6 months. In fact, it was quite hellish. We get let down quite a lot. But we're in our new place, we're settled. Still some unpacking today. Obviously, we've got to decorate, but we'll get there. And who knows, we might end up not finding as many serial killers as close to us this time. Because if you remember in some of our previous stories, a lot of serial killers ended up at just around the corner for the previous Ginger Army headquarters. So I'm kind of hoping that doesn't happen again in the new place, because that's kind of creepy. But, like I said, we're here. Yeah, you got the bedroom TV on the wall eventually, because the fucking concrete wall, we needed a masonry bit just to get that up there. Hey, Red. But, like I did say, the living room TV's not even here yet, because the original one, with a beautiful big 55-inch TV with built-in soundbar that we loved, and it got broken the flip. Luckily, it was insured. The new one's coming tomorrow, so yay. They sent an engineer out to look at it to see if it could be fixed, and he looked at it from the front door. Okay, he hadn't even got in the bloody property yet. He looked at it for the front door, because you can see the living room for the front door. Looked at it and goes, yep, that's fucked. It's like, well, no shit, Sherlock. Didn't even bother turning it on. Took one look at it and decided it was fucked. So, got a new one coming tomorrow. So, it will be up on the wall the next time I'm live. Especially now with that masonry drill bit, because the walls are concrete. I mean, I've got a wall there and I've had to go and get command strips just to put stuff on it. My shelves are held up by command strips. You can literally get things in 2mm and then it just, no, nothing further. It's so strange. Right, but anyway, that's enough of me rambling on. Although you should be used to that, you know, if you're a long time viewer. Let's get on to the main event. Now, part 4 of our real life supernatural stories. And I do promise I have saved the best for last, or at least in my opinion. You might not agree, I'm biased in this story because that's a childhood favourite of mine. But I will explain that. So, growing up, I always knew that my mum, my wee mum, she loved ghost stories. And that, thinking about it, that's probably where my love for things like that come from. But one of our favourite movies, Nick Kiddo, I've spoke to you about this and you'll know, I hope you looked it up on YouTube, because you'll know, you can't quite remember it because I think you were just too young at the time. But one of our favourite movies to watch together when I was growing up, I think I was only about 7 or 8, was a made-for-TV movie that was based on the real-life story of the Smurl family. Not to be confused with Smurfs. I did make that mistake several times while typing. Yeah. Right, the movie in question, you really should. I mean, I watched it again yesterday, the day before, maybe Friday, I can't remember. But I watched it again just for a wee bit of... Well, I wanted to see it again, to be fair. I hadn't seen it in years. But just to get caught up, in case there was anything I missed. It's certainly worth it. The copy on YouTube's no great quality, but it is watchable. It will. I can guarantee you quite quickly it will. Because it did with me. I was watching it. I was like, oh, I remember this. So yeah, it will. Now, this was a 1991, like I said, made-for-TV movie. And it was called The Haunted. Now, if you like haunted house stories, then I really can't recommend this movie enough. It was made for TV, so it's a little lesser known cast. And it was made with some pretty low budget. It was pretty low budget in general, but really not the greatest special effects either. So don't expect anything spectacular. It is a bit cheesy because it is made for TV, so yeah. But it is, in my opinion, it is a brilliant movie, and there are quite a few good jump scares in it as well. Now, so in 1974, why did I come up with that? Okay, I have no idea what that was. So, 1974, Janet and Jack Smurl, along with their 2 young daughters, and Jack's parents, were forced to move from their Wilkes-Barre home, which is in Pennsylvania, just for the record, after the floodwaters from Storm Agnes destroyed their home. They settled on a fixer-upper duplex in Chase Street in West Pittston, Pennsylvania. Now, the setup was the duplex had 2 parts to it. Janet and Jack and their 2 young daughters were in one half, and in a separate annex next door were Jack's older parents. Now, the new property needed quite a lot of work done to it, but the family set about making it their own. Now, unfortunately, the family, however, during the initial renovation, works, they must have awoken something because it was during this time that strange occurrences began. Now, for the next 11 years, the family grew and had some good fortune. Janet, who thought she might be expecting when they originally moved, ended up having twin daughters, giving them a total of 4 daughters. The family integrated well into the new neighbourhood. They were active in the Catholic Church and local groups, and the girls were popular. However, not everything was great for them. Jack's mother had a serious heart attack and was barely able to leave the house. And of course, there was this small matter of them being tormented by ghosts and demons that they woke. Why does my watch keep going? And things, unfortunately for the Smurl family, were getting worse and worse by the week. Oh, we're getting a visitor. So what happens when you've got a bigger office? You get visitors, be four-legged friends. Pepper, no. So it started with it started with strange and frightening voices, and then freezing temperatures, and then random unexplained bangs in the night. And for the first few years, it was only Janet who was being targeted, to the point that she and her family were beginning to question her sanity. Now, Janet was the only one that could hear these voices, feel these temperature changes, hear the bangs. That was only happening to Janet. Not her mother-in-law, her father-in-law, her husband, or any of her 4 kids to start off with. It was purely her. Until one day, when an apparition appeared to Janet. And then, only seconds later, appeared next door to her mother-in-law, proving to Janet, at least once and for all, that she wasn't crazy, and that the house was indeed haunted. But still, even with the 2 women having now seen something that they couldn't explain, the 2 men were still not sure. But one night changed that forever. After a normal day of family and work commitments, Janet and Jack retired for the evening. But although Jack fell asleep rather quickly, Janet was plagued by voices that were seemingly coming from her pillow. After hearing this, she woke Jack and made him place his head upon her pillow. And finally, he heard what she had been hearing all along. Finally, Jack knew for certain that his wife wasn't imagining things. Now, the family, being a good Catholic family, went to the priest for help, as you would. And he came one evening for dinner at the family home. The family explained the situation to him, and he doubted them, shall we say. Because, of course, you're going to. But he doubted them. He initially thought that maybe there was a problem with their marriage that was making them see these things. Maybe they needed to go to counselling. In fact, he even referred them to a marriage counselling group that he himself hosted. But they were adamant, no, there is nothing wrong with either of our marriages. They're both rock solid. There is something seriously wrong with this house. So eventually, the priest decided to go and investigate. Now, he checked downstairs and everything was fine. Not a thing was wrong. But as soon as he went upstairs inside the family home, he suddenly felt really ill. Like almost vomiting, sweating, incoherent. He couldn't explain what was happening to him, but he suddenly felt really almost delirious, in fact. So he left, but he promised to report back his findings to the church to help them take on the case and hopefully do what the church do best, perform an exorcism on the property. Now, the family thought that they were finally going to get the help that they needed. However, their joy was short-lived and the church refused to intervene. Apparently, they had an image to maintain and they were trying to bring the church into the 20th century, albeit at the very end of it, but they were trying to get away from the image of ghosts and exorcisms and things like that, and they were trying to be more family friendly, so to speak. So they refused to help them on that basis. The family were once again alone, but not for too long, as fate would have other plans for them. Now, as luck would have it, some very well-known demonologists were in the Pennsylvania area lecturing at the local university. What's the chances? And Janet took the family story to them. And of course, they were only too happy to help. Now, I am, of course, talking about none other than Ed and Lorraine Warren, who you all remember, of course, from the Conjuring series and Annabelle. Yay. And from what I can find out, this is the first time that the famous demon fighters made it to the big screen. I could be wrong, so don't hold me to that, but it's the earliest mention of them that I can find on TV or film. Obviously, they were mentioned in books, and they did their own books and whatnot, but this is the first time I can see them making it from book to film. Again, I could be wrong, but before the Warrens could investigate, the activity in the house got so much worse. Almost as if the demons were retaliating for the family seeking help. They were pissed. It's like, you're not getting rid of us. This is our house. In one instance, one of the daughters was almost killed. One of the twins, Sean, I believe her name. She was almost killed in a freak accident. And Jack himself was subjected to a brutal attack in which he saw the demon firsthand. The family reported that they had been levitated and that even the family dog wasn't safe from being attacked. That's my intercom. What the fuck? I'll be right back. I'm back. Sorry about that. Joy's living in a quality building like this, huh? Trying to fucking work here, you know? Right, so even the family dog wasn't safe. Jack and Janet were also attacked by a demon later named as a succubus, who attempted to possess both of them, but luckily failed. Now, when the Warrens finally made it to the family home, they discovered that the family were not being haunted by a single ghost, but by many. Firstly, there was a young girl who was angry but not necessarily dangerous. An old man who had died horribly in the house, and a confused older lady who herself was pretty harmless. However, there was a fourth entity in the property. A very dangerous and evil demon who controlled the other spirits and who wanted the family dead, and who would stop at nothing to get what it wanted. This demon wanted this family of 8. For some reason, he wanted them dead. Now, my personal opinion in this is when they were doing the renovations, they obviously disturbed them, and that pissed them off, and that's why he wanted them dead. But who knows? Now, the Warrens tried everything in their power to remove the spirits and the demon from the property, from full exorcisms to just plain pissing them off, in the hopes that it would leave. But nothing worked. In fact, it backfired big time, and the house was now in full possession. Even the neighbours were beginning to hear what was happening in this house. Even when the house was empty, the neighbours could still hear something going on. The family were completely alone and running out of time. In the end, after 4 failed exorcisms, the family, they gave up. They packed up everything they owned and got the fuck out of there. I was like, nope, see ya. They left the home that they had tried, they left the house that they had tried and failed to make a family home. They moved into new property in 1986, 12 years later, where they finally found peace after so many years of living in a house that was literally trying to kill them. But, of course, their lives were forever changed by what they went through. The family went on to write a book about their experiences, which was turned into the TV movie that I spoke about at the beginning. Some of the daughters went on tour as they got older to talk about their experiences in the Chase Street property. It was a media frenzy, to be fair. The family were hounded when word got out about this haunted house. Not everybody believed them, and they ran to get away from the media circus, to get away from the possessed house, to just get some kind of normal life again. And it worked. They were able to live out their life normally. So, there you have it, folks. Real life haunting. That was relatively forgotten about due to the other big haunting that was famous around the same time. Maybe about 10 years prior. I'm of course talking about the Amityville haunting that everybody knows about, because people actually did die in that one. Like, unlike the Smurl haunting where they just nearly died, in the Amityville they actually died. So it got a lot more recognition than the Smurl haunting. Now, I'll be honest, right? I did think about doing the Amityville story. It was easy. A lot going on. Everybody knows the Amityville. It's been back in the press recently. Um, so it would have been an easy story to do. But I would have thought, to me, it felt like a bit of a cop out doing that one because it is one that everybody knows. I mean, there's been what, 8 or 9 movies made about the Amityville haunting, plus the remake with Ryan Reynolds that very few people actually know about, and it's a really good movie. Go watch it. Ryan Reynolds, really. Who else? What's her? She was in 10 Things I Hate About You. What's her name? Juliet Stiles. That's her. I'm sure it was her. Maybe it wasn't. I don't think it was actually. I'm saying that, but I don't think it was now. I'm googling that. It's a really good movie though. That's bugging me. I'm googling that. This is one of those I need to know right now. Yep, that's it. 2005. Melissa George. That's her. Oh. Chloe Grace Moretz as well. But yeah, Ryan Reynolds. But yeah, seriously, check that out. Check out the original's tape. But the remakes are actually really no bad. And I hate remakes. Okay, I can't stand them. Even the new It remake couldn't quite get, just fell short. And don't get me started in the Nightmare on Elm Street or Chucky remakes. But we'll not go there. But yeah, so then that it felt like a cop out. Purely because it is so well known. But not just that, the Smurl haunting, it holds some kind of sentimental value to me because it was a story that my mum loved. And because very few people know about it. It's been forgotten about. So I thought it was a story worth sharing. It's not overly exciting, it's not compelling, it's not... Nah, I fell asleep during Chucky. Could not do it. I tried twice, couldn't do it, gave up. And we'll not even start, we'll not go there. But no, some just name to Bill Skarsgård. I like him, and I'm looking forward to him in the new Nosferatu movie with Johnny Depp's daughter. But and he's just done The Crow. I mean, what is it, the remake guy? Don't know if I'm gonna watch that. Really, but it fell short. The only reason I'm looking forward to Nosferatu is because it is like 100 years old. So it was like the original vampire story movie. No story, that was Bram Stoker's Dracula, but the widow wouldn't allow it at the time. So they went with Nosferatu. So I'm kind of looking forward to that one. Now, I know tonight's story's short, right? Considerably shorter than normal, to be fair. But we have just moved house, as you can see. You can still see that. You can now see Darth Vader in the background. How cool is that? And when I'm back on Tuesday, you'll see the TV and everything, and well, you can't see it right now, but there's boxes because we're in the middle of unpacking. We've only been here a week. Well, then alright, consider. But yeah, we've been here a week, so between unpacking and getting settled and everything like that, and finding half my setup and getting it all up, it's not any fun at all. it's finding time to write an in-depth script. Just it it wasn't happening. But that's me back, and I'm hoping that from now on we are going to be back to normal service. So, cheers, Red. Good to be back. Although it was so weird, I was nervous before coming on tonight. I mean, the last time I took a break this long was. Oh gosh, I think it was for the wedding, in fact. Maybe. But, so I'm going to be back next Sunday with another story. Don't ask me what it is because I genuinely can't remember. But I do have it in the book. Or on Discord. I think it's on Discord. I don't know. But I do have it. I have got another story. In fact, I do know what it is. It's one from our. It's an international story. It's from across the pond. It's over in the US. It's one that Care put me onto. So I have started doing the base work for that, but it was a while ago. But normal service will be resumed from here on out. I'll be back on Tuesday with a game. I don't know. I have got the Xbox set up. I also have got my Nintendo 64, my PlayStation 2, my Wii, my SNES, my Master System, all sitting. Well, my Xbox is set up, but the rest are sitting there, ready to go. The only issue is, at the minute, we're using my retro TV, my console TV, for the main TV in here because the big one didn't make it. So I don't have it set up, so to speak, but it is good to go as of tomorrow when the new TV arrives. Night, kiddo. So I'll be back on Tuesday with God only knows what game, to be fair. I don't know, okay? It really could be anything at this point. But I'll be back on Tuesday with something. And then Thursday. Now, Tuesday's normally my retro. No, Thursday's normally my retro. So, I'll probably just play something on the PC or on the Xbox. But if I can, if I can actually find my capture card, I'm sure it's in there somewhere, I will see if I can set up one of the retros and we'll play something a bit old school on Thursday night. Not a problem, Red. Just glad I could finally get this one done. So yeah, on Tuesday I'll be here with either PC or Xbox, but on Thursday, if I can manage it, I will be going for something a bit old school. All being well, if I can get the capture card set up in time. If I can find it in time. I'm pretty sure I know where it is, but only time will tell. But I'm going to leave you there for tonight. Like I said, it is short and sweet tonight, and I'm sorry about that. But I have just moved house, and like I said, it wasn't just a small move. We moved quite a few 100 miles. We did leave the country. And I have been getting notifications out the wazoo all night. But yes, I'll leave you there for tonight. Watch it in Discord. Ginge might be live tomorrow. I don't know. But I will be back on Tuesday with some kind of video game. Something I don't know. But until then, stay safe, look after each other, and I will catch you all on next Sunday. Yeah, next Sunday. Bye bye now.